Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for for mid-May 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Leo. And in your current general energies, you have this full moon in Sagittarius. It says, look at the bigger picture. You also have the Three of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Fool. So sometimes with the Fool card, we kind of do need to look at the bigger picture because it's like he's about to take a leap of faith. It can say, of course, that, whoever I'm reading for, in this case, you, it can say that you need to take some sort of leap of faith, but sometimes we need to look before we jump. There is also a way to read the Fool where I'm going to show you right now, actually, before I forget, but you can see that he's at the edge of this cliff. And maybe the cliff actually goes this way, like around. So he's not meant to go this way. He's meant to be careful and to go around the cliff, if that makes sense. And we don't know because we can't see over there, but maybe, right? This is a legitimate way to read the Fool, by the way. I don't normally read it that way, but again, intuitively, it is kind of popping into my head where it's like saying, hey, you know what? You're kind of like going in this new direction. Sorry, let me switch. That could be very good for you, but I also do feel you need to like pay attention, just pay attention, not for any like bad reasons necessarily, but just to pay attention, right? so that something doesn't happen. I also feel that there could be like a much safer direction, and we see that going this way. Seven of Pentacles can be a change in direction. Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it to kind of keep moving in the direction you're moving in life, or is there something new or something like different or better that you could be doing? And so sometimes I do feel that, and I kind of feel it in your reading where it's kind of like saying there might be like a newer, safer direction, in like work or business or anywhere else in your life that could lead to more success. You have the Three of Cups here. I feel like there are celebrations coming in for you. I thought I saw something else. I didn't, but it doesn't matter. I feel like there could be celebrations coming in for you. I also feel like you could be getting a lot of help from your community. I also feel that you need to keep growing a community, definitely popping into my head. Like if you have a business, you have the Five of Wands here. And the Five of Wands kind of like says, it might be time for you to like grow your community. Five of Wands is a card of conflict in competition. But you know what's really interesting is like if you have a business or an online business or something, Leo, where you're growing, right? Or trying to grow. I almost feel that this is encouraging you to like have an opinion, right? It's like people don't trust people who don't have an opinion one way or the other. And so it's like maybe you've been sitting on the fence for too long. Maybe you've been trying to play it safe or whatever. And I kind of feel that this is encouraging you to maybe take some risks and to like not be the nice guy or the nice girl, especially in business. It's like maybe you try to walk the line, or I don't know what I'm looking for. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say, but I feel like it's time to have an opinion because it'll actually make you stand out in a bigger way. It's popping into my head. You have the Fool. Again, I do feel like that playing it safe energy going this way. I do like it's so weird because I personally, this is more personal. It's not so much like accurate necessarily. Although, according, even looking at the astrology, I can see how I feel that we're being encouraged to take some bigger risks right now. But so normally I wouldn't encourage people to play it safe, right? But I do kind of feel that there is like a safer way you can do something. Like if you're worried about having an opinion in your business, or maybe you have social media, like a YouTube channel or something, and you're afraid of sharing some information because, everybody is upset by everything nowadays, right? So, I could say that everybody deserves to have $1 billion and someone's going to be upset by that, right? So, everybody's upset by something. But, I kind of feel like this is saying there's a way that you can do it where it's like a safer way, like if you want to have an opinion, or it's like some of you, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like some of you could be making a change in your business where it's like maybe you're no longer going to be selling something, or maybe you're going to raise your prices and you're worried that it's going to like upset people. And I kind of feel like this is saying like come up with like a tactical way to do it, because there probably is a better way than just raising the prices, right? For example, if you have a service business or something like that, maybe explaining why you're raising the prices, or providing extra value or something like that. That's just like one example that I'm kind of getting here, Leo, but let's see. With the Three of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, definitely a new adventure that you're going on. You end with the Knight of Cups. Whenever I have these readings like this, that like where you end with a knight going forward, he's like going this way towards the future, if I can get my hand in there. And, I feel like there's like a new adventure. Page of Wands literally just says like, follow your enthusiasm. If something gets you excited or you feel excited about a new opportunity, move in that direction, basically. With the Five of Wands, you have the Empress. Yes, a lot of abundance in like setting yourself apart. I feel like there's a lot of abundance in kind of, sticking up for yourself and, doing what you think is right and having an opinion. Like I said, I also feel you're very attractive at this time. So if you're looking for love, I would get out there. You have the Lovers here. So there definitely could be a new love connection. With the Fool, you have the Knight of Wands, another card of adventure. Definitely time for you to take a leap of faith in a new direction. Especially, I always get that feeling for you, Leo, that if things have been the same for too long, it's definitely time for you to start looking for new ways of doing things, like in work, business, or otherwise. Next, you have this Lighthouse card. It says, a light that can't be hidden, so don't even try to dim it for anyone. There you go. That could also be the thing. Maybe you're afraid about, putting your business out there because you're afraid it's going to upset someone or whatever. I feel like this is saying, don't dim your light. You have this Toxic Trigger cards. It says, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. I'm almost positive that I said something very similar to you in your last reading about like removing toxic influences from your life, but I also feel it's time for you to shine your light. And again, when you shine your light bright, there are going to be people who don't like it. So, you just have to get over that. You have the Devil card, the Five of Swords, and the Lovers. Again, some of you definitely need to remove some toxic influences from your life. Literally, that's what the Toxic Triggers card says, and you have the Devil. So I think it's time for a change. Going here, Seven of Pentacles says it's time for a change. You know that it's time to cut something out from your life. For some of you, I literally think that it's bad habits. So there could just be any habit that you have. We all have them. We all do things we shouldn't do, right? But, again, there could be something that you're like removing. For others, it could be a person as well. Here's why. It's like, I feel like you're seeing, if you have a relationship with a person, and I'm not even getting just love. This could be a business relationship as well because of the Seven of Pentacles. I almost get the feeling that someone isn't pulling their weight with the Justice card, or it's just not, especially in business, it could be like a situation where someone isn't pulling their weight, or maybe you hired a person and they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing or whatever, and so maybe it's time to, kind of like cut the cord, so to speak, and get rid of this person here with that Justice card, or they're just not getting what you want. I kind of have like a weird situation. It's kind of weird. Like I worked with a kid this year, and he did some really good work, but he just sucked at the same time, right? So I had to get rid of him. And it's just one of those things. Like I was always like, he did good work. I held on to him for like way too long for one of my other businesses because of what he could do for me, right? But in the end, it just wasn't worth it, because it's like it always took forever for him to respond to me. He would always like disappear on me and like, do whatever he was doing, who the hell knows what, and then it would always take him like 6 months to get a job done that should have taken him like a month max. And eventually I just had to get rid of him because I was like, you know what? I can't, like, him being as good as he wasn't worth the way that he was treating the business in the first place, right? And I'm telling you this because I feel like some of you could be dealing with something similar, where there could be a person who's like not doing what they're supposed to be doing or whatever, and you could be cutting the cord here or getting rid of them. It could also be in love, of course. You have the Devil, you have the Lovers here. And then we go from the Lovers to the Death card to the Hangman. So some of you could be letting go of a past love and moving on to new love. I would say that if you're letting go of a person that you technically already have let go of them, I feel, but you're like fully letting go of them now, and you're fully like over it, is what this is kind of saying to me, and you're moving on to something else. Yes. With the Devil, you have the Four of Wands, marriage. So some of you could be meeting a new person that you will marry in the future. And you're also, by the way, the Four of Wands is a card of freedom. So it looks to me like you're setting yourself free from something that has been toxic or could be toxic in your life. With the Five of Swords, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success. It's also a card of just a victory. So, the Five of Swords is like winning at all cost, and the Six of Wands is being victorious. So I do feel like some of you could be, again, conquering something toxic in your life, whether it's a person, place, or a thing. With the Lovers, you have the Nine of Cups. There's a certain amount of security in this reading. Remember I said on the Fool card about safety. It's like if you're entering into a new situation, especially in love, I feel like you feel like you want more. almost like you want more security. I'm not sure if this is a good thing. It's like, I kind of feel like it's good, bad. Like, I get it. It's like you want the security to know that, like, the person isn't a bozo, right? Isn't going to lie, cheat, or steal or something like that. But what I will say is that we go here. In your next row, if I can even get these off the table, which I can't even, we'll go that way. Couldn't even get it off the table. You have this house card and this imprisonment card. You know, it's almost like too much security here. It's like too much security could be keeping you stuck. So, you know, it's like I kind of do get that popping into my head here where it's like saying, don't be like overly paranoid. If you meet a new person, treat them like a new person and just see how it goes, right? Because that imprisonment card is like the 8 of Swords, and the house card, I just feel like too much security, as I was saying. So I feel like you should take some small risks. Of course, don't like, basically give a person, don't spill your life story and, tell them that you're in love, like right on the first date. Give a person some time if this is love. Same thing in like business as well. It's like take your time to build something up and don't just play it too safe. But again, 8 of Swords, there are other ways of doing things as well. You have the 7 of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Justice card. There's clearly a change here. 7 of Pentacles is a change in direction. The Death card is a change, and the Justice card is cause and effect. So Justice says, if you're wondering, like, what change should you make? It's like, are you in situations where you give too much to the situation, you don't get anything for it? I really feel you need to look at your investments of time. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're investing in a relationship, when you put energy in, do you get any energy out, or is it just a waste of time? Same thing with a business, a person in business. It's like, are you truly getting the value, right? Like I said, with that kid, I was paying him a lot of money. He was doing a good job, but at the same time, it really wasn't worth it because it caused a lot of stress. I had to constantly wait. He would disappear. He wouldn't respond to me. It's like all these problems, right? So he was more of a headache and more of a problem than, even though he did a good job, the work he did was quality, but he was actually crap, right? When you really think about it. So I really had to kind of look at that situation, and I really had to say, kind of like weigh it up. And that's exactly what I did, is I like really weighed it up, and I was like, what? No, it's really not worth it. And again, the only reason I'm talking about this right now, and I'm not trying to talk too much about myself here, is because, again, I think some of you could be going through a similar situation. And I'm not saying it's in business. It could be in love. It's like maybe a person really, really loves you, but maybe they cheat on you, right? And, some people would say that's not love, but, maybe they express love to you or something. I don't know. We're all different, right? And I think you need to say to yourself, is it worth it? Is this situation worth it? But again, it could be in business. It could be the job that you have. It's like, maybe you really like your job, but maybe at the same time you have to drive 4 hours both ways to get there. And maybe Janice constantly stinks, right? Maybe you work across from Janice and you just feel sick all day because, and it's like, maybe everything is like stacking on top of each other. That's kind of like what I'm getting here. It's like, what is the weight of a situation that needs to change here, Leo? I don't think this is a bad thing either, and I don't think this is a bad reading. I think it's a good reading. I think that it's going to lead to like a much better time in your life. It's going to, it's like, again, firing that kid was a major aha moment for me personally, because I broke one of my rules, number one, in holding on to him for so long in the first place, right? So it was like a major rule that I broke that I have. And, it kind of was a major lesson. So it led to me creating better systems and changing things in that business so it can be more successful, and it has been. So, again, this is why I'm like very passionate about talking about this in your reading, because again, I think that regardless of what this is, it's like the only person you're stealing from is yourself, if you stay in a situation that isn't worth it. But if you get rid of it, if you go through the transformation, I think you're going to find the sun. The sun is coming up between the 2 pillars on the moon here. So I feel like there's something much, much better coming in for you. You have the 7 of Pentacles. We don't even need to talk about it. Clearly, if it wants to focus, there's a change in direction coming into your life here. So I feel like there's some sort of change coming in for you with that 7 of Pentacles. Let's see where this is going here for you, Leo. With the 7 of Pentacles, you have the 7 of Pentacles, of course. So change in direction. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Probably not. If you're stuck in a situation. If you're thinking about moving to something else, I would say something new, definitely worth it. With the Death card, you have the 9 of Wands. Yeah. 9 of Wands says don't give up, but also the 9 of Wands is a card of experimentation. right? It's a card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So, I feel like for some of you, you might have to experiment. You might have to try some new things in your life to get this situation to work. Like, let's say you're kind of like looking to quit your job because, again, Janice stinks or whatever the case may be. I feel like what you will find is something much better. Again, maybe you don't even realize it. Maybe you're quitting the job you have to drive 4 hours to because Janice stinks, and it's not because of the drive, but maybe you find something that's right down the road. That's awesome. So not only does it get rid of Janice, but it also gets rid of the drive, right? I almost have like additional benefits popping into my head here if you're making a change. With the Justice card, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, Five of Pentacles is like being left out in the cold here. It's funny that I told that story too, because, he constantly left me out in the cold, not responding to his boss. And, again, you could be in a situation where you always feel like you're left hanging, hangman right here. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses, but it can be being left out in the cold. So I definitely feel like, this reading is talking about something where you're not getting like what you put into it out, So definitely something I would think about here. Next, you have this Channel card. This is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle, and it's awesome. These are like animated decks here. And full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but this video isn't sponsored, but they are launching 3 new decks down below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But again, I feel like you could be channeling at this time, literally. You could be feeling like guided by the universe. We even see that, actually. You have the Hangman, the Temperance card, and the Knight of Cups. The Hangman, he is finally gaining enlightenment. His head is glowing. So he has finally gained some inner answers on like what he needs to do in his life or the direction that he needs to take his life or whatever the case may be. So I kind of feel like you are moving in new directions. And again, I think you're channeling information that could be making you much more successful. I would really pay attention to your intuition. It's like you could literally be having dreams about things that are happening or that will happen. Again, I think your intuition is on fire with this card. That's really what I'm getting here. And so I feel like you need to trust that. Even me, like I've noticed like since the end, getting to the end of this retrograde, basically, it's like I've been having, I wouldn't say they're prophetic, but it's like, I've been thinking about things and then they happen. Like I've had a couple of instances where I've just noticed my intuition is kind of like a little bit more on point, right? And so I would pay attention to your intuition here. You have the Temperance card here, so I feel like you have been very patient. It's like you've been waiting for things to change in your life, and you've been working with the energies. I definitely feel this is encouraging you to work with kind of the energies that exist, so you can create more like success and abundance in your life. You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is like a knight in shining armor. So if you want love, by the way, I definitely feel there could be love coming in for you. Could be a water sign. Could be any sign, really. You have like everything here. So, could be another fire sign I'm getting as well. Could also be a Taurus, but take it how it resonates. I feel like that you're just creating a lot of abundance and a lot of like good things in your life with this card. So, definitely something I would be paying attention to. And sorry, I just have to check my camera because I heard a noise, but I'm waiting for a new washing machine to be delivered, and I can't miss it because I haven't washed my clothes in like a week, Leo. But anyway, I feel like this could be like a knight in shining armor coming in for you. And I also feel the Knight of Cups can be like a dream. It can say that you're like imagining creating something in your life. So, I would get creating here. With the Hangman, you have the Six of Swords. You are definitely moving on from something. I mean, this is the whole entire reading. It's like you're cutting something out of your life, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, plain and simple. So it doesn't want to focus, but, Six of Swords, like moving on to calmer shores. So I feel like you are moving towards like improvements and things like that. You're being guided here. With the Temperance card, you have the Justice card, cause and effect. Justice is, cause and effect. You have it twice here in this reading. Temperance is like literally kind of cause and effect. It's alchemy, turning a negative into a positive. You can turn a positive into a negative with Temperance. And Justice, they're kind of like very similar. They're back and forth, The Temperance angel is pouring water back and forth. So I feel like this is saying that, sometimes I think we try to fix a situation, right? I gave this kid too many chances, obviously. And, it's like I tried to fix this situation when really a much better situation already existed. And I kind of feel like this reading is saying your intuition is trying to tell you that a more perfect situation already exists. So don't settle for something that isn't working. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands, definitely removing burdens, right? I feel like this is the better situation right here is the Knight of Cups. It's like a dream situation. It's a situation where something can just works, where things have like a certain flow, or they just have like a certain direction that they move in. So, move in the new direction. Let's see. You have this vision card coming up here. You could be attracting a Pisces, by the way. This is the sun in Pisces, so, take it how it resonates. But I also feel that your intuition is on point. So, like I said, I would be trusting that intuition. Next, you have this charity card. No charity cases, right? No investing in things that don't invest in you. Although I think the universe is being very generous with you right now. You have this devotion card as well. Could be attracting a very solid relationship. So if you want love, I feel like you could be attracting a new connection into your life that's just like much, much better for you. I feel like there's true love. Could be a Libra as well. You have like a ton of Libra here. You have the seduction card. Yes, I feel like number one, you're very attractive at this time. Number two, could be a very seductive connection coming in for you if you're looking for love. On top of that, I feel like you're just, you could be very magnetic at this time I'm getting, but not just love. I'm talking about you could be attracting things very quickly. And finally, you have this exaltation card. This card kind of says that, like, the time is now. It's like a good time. It's almost like the perfect storm for good things to happen. So I feel like you need to cut things out of your life that are no longer serving you, right? It's like I said, for whatever reason, I've been getting this message for a lot of people recently that we really need to make sure we're not settling for situations that are less than ideal. Again, there's no such thing as a perfect situation. But again, if you are settling for, if you're up here and the situation you're settling for is down here, again, that's not equal, right? And I don't think we ever truly get like true equality situations in life. I think things kind of go back and forth. Who cares? But again, is it closer to the middle, right? I don't know. That's what's popping into my head. So there you go, Leo. I hope this makes sense because it probably doesn't. But thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.